Is it cold on your boat? What do you think? Hi there, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a brand new video. I live on board a 58-foot Heron manufactured in Huddersfield in 2001. Giving up bricks and mortar in 2015 for a new life and a fresh start on the water. And what did we give up? A beautiful but modest lakeside property with a jacuzzi, an annex with a gym and a cinema. And do I ever look back? Well, no I don't, because I live an idyllic life on the canals with Levi and Diesel and my beautiful wife. It's an exciting year, and 2024 means that I've been on board almost 9 years. And does living in a confined space drive us crazy, I hear you ask? Well, no, I'd go as far as to say that it's actually made things much better. It's 2024, and just a few short days ago, this old weary body of mine turned 60 years old. Yes, 60 years old. They said that life begins at 40. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, but life before 50 is just the warm-up. And here I am at 60, still behaving like I'm a person 20 years younger, and amen for that. But what is it, Nigel? Why are you rambling on again, I hear you ask? Well, it's simple. I'm just enjoying a walk out with Levi. Oh, this guy is incredible, by the way. And tomorrow I'm going to be up the cut, back at Atherstone, helping a couple of friends out to bring their boats over to Barton Marina on the Trent and Mersey canal. And with fallen trees and canals in flood being recent topical videos on my channel, I'm asking myself, why is this boat moored near a tree where one of the limbs has recently fallen onto the towpath and caused quite a lot of damage? Well, that's for this boater to figure out. If something unfortunate like that should happen, I certainly hope not. So just for those that are, which I refer to as the uninitiated, if you are taking a boat out on the canal, if you're hiring one or indeed just purchased one and now own one, try not to leave it on the canal under a tree. Is it cold, Levi? Ooh. And so, with calmer weather and the floods now cleared, it's a golden opportunity to move 2 boats from the Ashby Canal to the Trent and Mersey. Okay, here we go. It's a 45-minute drive from Barton-under-needwood here in Barton-on-Trent, and it's 2 days by boat back to this location. So we're just driving down now to Aon Town itself to meet up with our 2 boats to make our way there. Here we are, just here, look. Here we are. Park up here somewhere. Yeah, just down here, look. Some bats anyway. Yeah. See that? Yeah, there are bits, boat bits. I don't know. You're gonna help a brother out and manage to carry everything. You know, these information boards are dotted around the Coventry Canal, and they're quite frequent in places like Manchester and Nuneaton, and a lot of historical information about Atherstone itself. So it looks like my 2 weary boaters have already made their way down the flight. Broken into or something?
No, we haven't had any problems.
So what was she on about then?
What?
They didn't get broke into. I don't know, there he is, look. I knew that's where he'd be. There we are, look. There we are. Hey. And just for context, and while I've got you here, if you're still watching, I get asked, why is it that you don't feature anyone in your videos? Well, I don't really have their permission. I've mentioned this before. If they're happy with me filming them, then that's fine. I'll probably do it at a distance, but I won't get up close and personal unless I have their permission. I'm not that impertinent that I'm just going to stuff a camera in somebody's face. It's just not fair. Not everybody wants it, not everybody likes it, and social media be damned, okay? Just for some context. Anyway, onwards. Further to that, if they were to speak up and say, oh, I'm okay with being filmed, then that's on them. That's fine. That's what I'm saying. Okay? I'm not just going to assume that I can do it. And along here today, just starting up, just getting ready to do a few locks. I've already spoken to some really lovely people, and the lockies are absolutely brilliant. Helping people out today. Here comes the lockie. Here's my friend on his boat. Oh, good. Yeah. But how did this little adventure come about, I hear you ask? Well, it was simple. Back in October, there was an opportunity to move, but for one reason or another, that didn't happen. But then, in a flash, and just after New Year, there was an opportunity. There was a window in the weather of mild temperatures. Floods, recent as they were, had just receded, and so it was time to move. And although chilly, once you start doing a few locks, you soon get warmed up, even with the lockie's help. So the lead boat is merrily on his way, and the trailing boat is stuck up in one of the locks. There are some engineers taking measurements for a new lock gate. So he goes into the lock, goes in, the engineers are taking their measurements, and then he turns around and said, would you mind waiting in the lock 15 minutes? I said, no, mate, you may as well just let me go. There's nobody else behind me. Please let me go. So reluctantly, we let him through. And then he took his measurement. Wow. Oh, look, deep in thought. How long's it going to take with two boats? Ooh. I think it took about, I think it was 2 hours 50 in total. It's always better to go down than it is to go up. Yeah, and every lock, bar one, was set against us. And I think that was probably all the way down to the Trent and Mersey, if I'm not mistaken. But, hey, it's all part of the game. It's all part of the fun. This is what I love about boat life. Being out there, being outdoors. And did I tell you that I work outside for a living? Yeah, that's what I do. So there isn't colder temperatures, there is only warmer clothing. There you go. So ultimately there would have been a journey like this probably later on in winter, possibly at the back end of January. But with some severe freezing temperatures about to arrive, this was the ideal opportunity. And I was involved in it over 2 days, but all told it was 3. And all 3 days were mild conditions with no wind, no rain, well, very little sunshine, but you can't have it always. And as you can see, just by the relaxed way we're walking down and up the flight, there was really no issue and no stress, especially from the weather. And this has been typical in recent years, just after Christmas and New Year. There always seems to be mild temperatures up until the 4th or 5th of January, and then they plummet. And as I record this, those temperatures have plummeted to, in some cases around the country, -10. Yeah, indeed, I am actually in my boat, log burner on. I've got some wood that I've chopped up, blazing away, and just looking out there now and wishing, crikey, I wish I was out there doing that rather than being here doing what I'm doing now. Sometimes editing videos, it can take a long time. And then when you see, in most cases with my videos, not that I'm particularly bothered, you don't see much of a return, you think, should I bother? But yeah, I love doing it, and to the 1 or 2 people that are watching and the comments that I get, I really do appreciate that. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. And what am I getting out of this little caper, this little experience, this little extravaganza down the Coventry and onto the Trent and Mersey canal? Well, I get to help out two fellow boaters who just happen to have become really good friends over the years. And it's an absolute pleasure to be doing this. Why wouldn't I? It's good to give something back, particularly when it's with people that you like being with. Plus, I'm a very busy fella outside of boat life, so it's really great to take your foot off the gas. And besides that, if one of them gets tired, because obviously there's a dog on board as well on one of the boats, and they want to pull over for 5 minutes, I can take over. If somebody wants to make a pot of tea or a coffee or whatever, then I can handle the tiller for a bit. Not just on one boat, but I get an opportunity to do it on two boats. They get a chance to rest, and that just adds to the whole experience, and it gives us something. It gives us something to talk about and something to share with you guys. Do you know what I mean? He knows what I mean. So there's no shortage of information boards down here on the Coventry Canal as we go through Atherstone. Getting on with it, halfway through the flight now, and well, almost full speed ahead, which in canal boating terms is very slow. The slower the better, and as I've said many times before, if you want to go more than 4 miles an hour, buy yourself a motorhome. Why would you want to be on the canals if you want to go fast? There's no way you can do that, particularly here at Aon Flight, because there's 11 locks to negotiate. And even though the locks are set against us...
Thank you, darling.
No problemo. Mon plaisir. I'm losing my train of thought now. Wow, there's hardly anybody on the move anyway. We've only seen a couple of boats through the flight today. So we are getting through them fairly quickly, and I've said that it's always better to go down the flight than it is to go up. And we're in the din of the traffic, so you can hear the A5 as it goes through Atherstone, as it comes from Tamworth and goes down to Coventry. And then of course the West Coast main line goes through here also. So yeah, there is quite a lot of background noise, but we'll soon get out into the sticks again and things will start to quieten down. Well, we're halfway down the flight now. It's all looking good. We've got 8 hours and 16 minutes of moving time. That's because it's winter here in the UK, so there isn't that much daylight we've got to play around with. So we've got to be savvy. What do? Do we continue into dusk and into the night, or do we simply moor up? Do we get ahead of where we thought we were going to be when we all met up earlier in the video, or do we carry on? The weather's with us. We've got that window of opportunity. It's exciting. So let's see. If these guys want to carry on and take it into the night, then that's what we'll do. If not, we'll just moor up and, you know, take the allotted amount of time that we anticipated for this journey. Arrival time was Saturday morning, so sky's the limit. Well, not quite, but you know what I mean. So we approach yet another marina with slipway and dockyard, looking all very nice in there, albeit very noisy. A5 in the background, West Coast main line right next to the marina with freight trains rattling through. Even with the electrified lines, you can still hear the trains rattling through that viaduct just up the way there. in keeping a reasonable pace, I'm electing not to jump back on the boats, not to slow us down. Not that that's a problem, you know, we've all agreed that, and I'm quite happy to do that. So I'm just running up and down the towpath, setting the locks where needed. I don't know, some of this tagging, I don't know what you think, but I think it's gross. There are actually boaters that actually quite like it. I think it's disgusting, but it's infrastructure, and I work on infrastructure, so I just don't like to see it. Lock 8, that's a bit leaky. Big Kev there in the lock. See? Down there's lock 9. So Kevin on the training boat just asked me what lock number is this. I've said the next one is lock 9. So there's only 3 more locks to get through, because I think the worry now is that it is going to start getting dark very quickly. And is it really a worry? No, it's not. But obviously the dog needs toileting, and I think Kevin is ready for a drink. It is quite a long day, and if you are, you know, wanting a break, and sometimes it's very difficult, particularly if you're a solo boater, imagine that, then that's what we'll do. I think that's some going. 9 locks done in 2 hours and 50 minutes. That's with 2 boats and hardly any help. There were lockies only on the first 4, although that was sporadic, and I've just offered my assistance wherever I can. And that's better now as well. It's a lot quieter now. That's it for this video. Come and join me next week, where we continue on from lock 10 all the way down to Glasgow, where we turn day into night cruising. Hey, if you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you were to do this with your favourite narrowboating channel, in fact, if you were to do this with your favourite YouTube channel, I'm sure that they'd appreciate it just as much as I do. And if you would consider liking this video, possibly sharing it, and hitting that bell for notifications of future videos, please do so now. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.